In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a horizontal menu in HTML CSS. So I've already set up the basic HTML code over here, and I've added a doc type which says in which version of HTML you're writing your code in. So in this case it will be HTML5. I've also created a new document which is index.css, and I placed this document in the same folder as I placed my index.html document in. So now I'm going to create a link between my HTML document and my CSS document, so I'm able to style my HTML document. So within the head area over here, type in a new line, which will be the following. Okay, so now we've created the link between the index.html document and the CSS document. Now we're going to work on the body area. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to eliminate some default settings within the body tag. So go to your index.css document, type in body, open and close the curly hooks, then type in padding, which will be 0, and type in margin, which will be 0. If you don't know what these two properties mean, I will explain this later. So now go back to your index.html document, because now within the body tag I'm going to create a certain section or division in which I'm going to place my menu element. So type in the following, div, and then close it off. So now we've made a section within our web page. Sometimes you would like to style several divisions as a group. And in that case, you use the class attribute. But in this case, I would like to be able to style this division individually. And in that case, I'm going to use the ID attribute. So behind div, type in ID, and then we're going to give it a name. So in this case, the name will be header. And now I'm going to give my header a certain width, height, and background color. So go to your index.css document, and we're going to start by typing in a bracket, because this is the way to show you want to refer to an ID. And in this case we want to refer to the ID with the name header. So within index.css, behind the bracket, type in header. Now open and close the curly hooks like this. Then type in the width, which will be 1400 pixels. And let's also type in the height, which will be 150 pixels, and I'm going to give my header a background color, which will be red, just so we can distinct this particular area. So I'm just using the basic color names so you can actually see what you're doing. Now I'm going back to my index.html document. I'm going to save, and I'm going to launch this in my browser. Okay, so now, as you can see, I've made a header, a section, with a width of 1400 pixels and a height of 150 pixels. What you can also see is that it's completely at the border of my computer screen. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to center this division. So I'm going back to my HTML document, and in front of my div tag I'm going to type in center, and behind my div tag, so behind the closing tag, type in center and close it off like this. And now when I save and I'm going to refresh my page, you will see it's in the center of the screen. So now we're going back and we're going to start by creating our menu. Within the header area over here, I'm going to make a bit more space, and I'm going to add an unordered list. So type in UL and close it off. And then within this unordered list we will have multiple list items. So type in LI and then close it off. LI, and now we've made one list item. So I'm going to copy this 3 more times, and I'm going to give each list item a name. So type in the name you would like to have for your button, because these list items will actually be the buttons within your menu. So type in, for instance, home, information, email, and contact. Okay, so I'm also going to give this menu an ID, because I might want to have multiple menus within my web page. So behind UL over here, type in ID is, and I'm going to give it the name menu. So now we've made our unordered list with 4 list items. Let's see what it looks like in the browser. So I'm going to save and I'm going to refresh. And now, as you can see over here, we have our 4 list items. And over here you can see these are the bullets that come with the unordered list area. The reason why these two are so far apart is because we centered our div. So now, as you can see, this is still just text. So we need to turn this into hyperlinks. So I'm going back to my HTML document and I'm going to do that right now. Behind LI, type in A, which means you want to create a link. And now I'm going to type in where to link to. So I'm going to type in href is. And over here I'm going to type in the HTML document I want to link to. So for instance, if I saved a new HTML document within the same folder I saved my index.html document in, and this document is called page1.html, I would just write down page1.html like this, and then you would have the link to that particular page. So that's how this works. You also need to close it off. So behind home, type in /a, and this is how you create a link. So I'm going to do the same for the other list items. So I'm just going to copy and then paste. Let's do the same for the closing tag. And now we've turned all our list items into hyperlinks. So when I save and I refresh my page, you will see the difference. Okay, so now all my list items have turned into hyperlinks. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these bullets over here, and these are part of the unordered list area. So I'm going back to my HTML document and I'm going to show you how you can target the unordered list area to remove these bullets. So go back to your HTML document and as you can see over here we have the UL tag, and behind it we have the ID called menu. So the only thing we need to do to target the unordered list area as a whole is just type in the following, a bracket and then menu. So this is how we target the unordered list as a whole. Then open and close the curly hooks and type in list style and then none, like this. So I'm going to save, I'm going to refresh my page, and now as you can see the bullets are gone. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the underlining below my hyperlinks. So I'm going back to my HTML document and now we need to target the A tag over here. So just like before, we first need to go through the UL tag, and as I said before, because the ID is part of the unordered list tag, you can just write down menu like this, just a bracket and then menu. So we're going to do that again. The next step is we need to go through the LI tag over here. So type in LI and then we need to target A. So type in A. So now we can start styling the hyperlink. So type in text decoration and then none, like this. So I'm going to save, I'm going to refresh my page, and now the underlining has been removed. Now I'm going back because I would like to style my unordered list as a whole a bit more.